Welcome back to Rocky Railway Vacation Bible School. I'm Miss Justine.
And I'm Miss Emily.
At Rocky Railway, we're learning that Jesus' power pulls us through the ups and downs of life. Let us sing, "Your Power Will Pull Us Through," and celebrate.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us whole and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Trusting in you. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you.
I just love our theme song. Jesus' power really does help us pull through.
It's been so fun having everybody ride the rails with us this past month at Rocky Railway. A long time ago, trains were the best way to take a trip.
Have you ever taken a long trip?
One time when I was in college, I took a trip all the way to Thailand.
Wow, that's far, Miss Emily.
It took me about 24 hours and I had to take a lot of different airplanes.
Wow, good thing for airplanes. I don't think a train could quite make it across the ocean. But people a long time ago started using trains in North America. They couldn't get all the way from one place on the one side of the United States all the way to the other side of the country because they'd have to take one train, get off, and then get onto another train with another set of tracks. But finally, I'm sorry.
I think finally they made it so that the tracks were connected.
That's right. It was such a big deal that they ended up putting a gold stake in when they connected the tracks.
Wow, that's so cool.
So this week we are discovering how we are connected, just like our tracks, to Jesus' power. That makes me want to dance and celebrate.
Me too.
Join me in singing, "We Can Trust Him."
everything we can count on. It's God will never let us down, and we can trust everything He does. He keeps His promises, we know, because the word of the Lord holds true. We can trust Him, we can trust Him. The word of the Lord holds true. We can trust Him, we can trust Him. The word of the Lord holds true. We can trust Him, we can trust Him. The word of the Lord holds true. We can trust Him, we can trust Him, we can trust Him, we can trust Him.
That was so much fun. Now let's hear from David and Julia for this week's Bible verse.
The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you.
Thank you, David and Julia. All month we've been meeting Bible buddies that help us learn incredible Bible truths. Today's Bible buddy is Lawrence the Elk. Let's let him introduce today's Bible point.
I heard everyone was steaming ahead with the last day of Rocky Railway. Glad you're here. I'm Lawrence Elk, not a moose, not a ram, but an excellent elk. Male elks are called bulls, and me and my bull buddies like to hang out way up in the Rocky Mountains. In the winter, we move down where we can find grass. But in the spring and summer, we head for the hills. It's important that we stick together with the herd. Some elk herds are as big as 400 friends. Although my antlers are big and strong, female elk or babies don't have these, and a hungry bear is hard to fight off. Speaking of these amazing antlers, they are pretty incredible if I do say so myself. Sometimes they come in handy when other herds get too close to mine, or I need to show another bull that I'm in charge. Yeah, sometimes we butt heads, even in our happy herd. But I try not to get too attached. Literally, they fall off every year and I grow a new set. How cool is that? God also gave me a unique power to help me communicate with the herd. That's called bugling. It's a little like roaring and whistling at the same time. It keeps my herd close together where we can be safe. Our herd even has scouts, a few elk who stand watch while others graze. We have to look out for each other. Do you have friends who look out for you? Friends you like to call out to when you're sad or silly, happy or hurting? Or do you sometimes butt heads with your buddies? Maybe you need the power to forgive and love a friend when you're not getting along. You don't have to do that all by yourself. Jesus gives you His power to help be a good friend. Jesus gave this powerful command in the Bible. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. If you're butting heads with your buddies and not getting along, you can trust Jesus' power and follow His words. Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus.
Whoa, elks are so cool. I think I'm going to pretend to be an elk all day long. Now let's go to Craft and Play with Miss Becky.
Hi everybody, this is Miss Becky and welcome back to Craft and Play. This week, we are learning how Jesus' power helps us be good friends. We all need friends and we all want to be good friends. And our Bible buddy was Lawrence Elk. He has a whole herd of friends, and a herd is a big group and they all stick together. So we're going to make some antlers and be Lawrence Elk today. Get out your Stay on Track pack. And inside of it, you have brown paper rectangle. You have a thin strip of brown paper, 2 white pieces of paper, and a pom-pom for a nose, and 2 googly eyes. The first thing that I'm going to do is make Lawrence Elk's face. I'm going to glue on the googly eyes. There's one. And here's 2. And now I'm going to glue on his very fluffy nose. There's his face. Whoops, I think we have to glue on his nose really strong. Okay, there's Lawrence Elk's face. Now you might need a little help from an adult with the next part, because what we're going to do is take this long strip and staple it together to make a headband. And then we're going to staple his face right on the headband. So he's going to look like this. I think his nose is having a problem. We'll have to work with that a little bit. Okay, thanks. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, you'll need help with this too, because we're going to ask an adult to draw around your hand and part of your arm. So I'm going to draw around mine, and it's going to make antlers. There's my first one. And there's my second one. And a little bit of brown on that will help us remember that his antlers are brown. So find your brown crayon. And as you're coloring, you can be thinking about who your friends are, and how you can be a really good friend to them, just like Jesus is a good friend to us. Good friends take care of each other. They help each other out when they need help. They share things. That's what it means to be a good friend. So here's his antlers, and we're going to staple those onto the back. Now, you might want to have your adult friend help you cut out the antlers if you want to, so then they'll look a little bit more like real antlers. Here's Lawrence the Elk. And now that'll help you remember what a good friend Jesus is.
Thank you, Becky, for the wonderful craft. Today, you know, it's Miss Lori at Imagination Station, and you know we ask questions. So the question I have for you today is, you met our friend Lawrence the Elk. How many toes do they have on each leg? Do they have 2, like you see right here? Or do they have 4, like you see right here? Are you ready? They have 4. Next, I would like to introduce Suzanne, doing Bible study.
Hey guys, it's Suzanne. I'm so happy to see you for today's Bible adventure. And today we're going to talk about the early church in the book of Acts. But I want you to notice what's happened in the church check-in area since we've been gone. Justine's decorated it like it's a party. And I'm so excited that we have this sweet check-in area to celebrate that we are together. So today we are discovering how Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Trust Jesus. So have you ever been somewhere and everybody else had the same pair of shoes or the same kind of t-shirt and you just didn't feel included? Well, we're talking about the early church today in Acts 2. And they were a group of people that had an inner circle. They were Jesus's inner circle, and they became the church. But they weren't people who made people feel left out. They pulled people to them and made everybody feel in and made everyone feel a part of it. They even invited so many more people to come and be a part of it. After Jesus died and came back to life, he went to heaven. And his followers told as many people as they could about Jesus' love and about Jesus' power. And pretty soon, a lot of people believed in Jesus. And I have a Bible verse I want to share with you. It's from the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 42. And it's talking about how the early church treated each other. It says, "And they continued in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking in bread, and in prayer." And they shared everything together. So they're eating together, and they're praising Jesus, and they're hanging out together, and they're sharing everything. And Jesus' power made those believers good friends. And they wanted everyone else to join them and become Jesus' friends too. So this time and this last day of VBS, we're celebrating the opportunity that we have to be good friends in Jesus. So a good symbol of friendship is a heart. And at our last VBS on Tuesday night, we all wrote our name on a heart as a reminder of Jesus' love for each one of us. It's a symbol of friendship, and I hope that you've become good friends with Jesus throughout this week. And when we give our hearts to Jesus, we become part of a big family, a big group of friends, which is the church. And I'm sitting right here at our John Knox Kids Church check-in area. And we're going to continue having opportunities, whether it's online or eventually in person, for you to come and be a part of this big family of the church, whether it's at our church or somewhere else. It's great to be part of a community of faith. When we give our hearts to Jesus, we also get each other in Christian community. And Jesus said that when we treat others as friends, it shows other people that don't know him that he's real. That when we are kind to other people, when we show our hearts to other people, it shows a little bit of Jesus too. Our friendships matter. They help show Jesus' love to each other. I wonder how this week you could try to show Jesus' love to the people around you. We weren't able to be together in the same way this year at VBS, but somewhere at home or somewhere in your neighborhood, I wonder if there's a way that you could show Jesus' love. And when we Zoom later, maybe you could share your ideas. I'm so glad we've been able to be together this week. I've loved our time together on Tuesday nights. And we are part of that early church that celebrated Jesus in Acts 2. I'm glad you've been a part of this week. And I hope that you know how important it is that we stay connected as friends of Jesus. And we hope to see you back here real soon. Thanks for joining me at Bible Adventures, where Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Trust Jesus.
Thanks, Suzanne, for our Bible adventure. Now, we are going to do our Sciencey Fun Gizmo. So if you can find your bag, and you can take out your little bag with the beads in it, and if you could take out your sign that says, "The Church is United." On the back, you have your directions for making your power band, but we're going to do it together. We know that steam engines get their power from either wood or coal. So in your bead bag, you will see that you have both wood and coal. So if you put everything out, you can see your wood, your coal, and you have a string and a cross. We get our power from Jesus. That's why we have the cross, so it can be part of our power band. As you begin to work on this, remember that Jesus' power helps us be good friends. Trust Jesus. So the first thing I'm going to have you do, take your string and in one of the ends, tie a knot. Now you can put your beads on in any order that you want. I kind of set my beads up so that I know what it's going to look like before I'm finished, but you can do that or you don't have to. That's up to you. And I decided I'm gonna put my cross in the middle. So I'm gonna take my string and I'm gonna start to put my beads on. I have a lip bead, a coal bead, another wood bead and cold bead. I'm gonna put my cross in the middle of my band to remind me that Jesus is always in the center of my life. Sometimes it's kind of hard to wiggle these on, so you're gonna have to be careful, and it might take you a little while. There's my cross, and I'm gonna start what would be the second side, really, kind of. Wood and coal and wood. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find the circles to put them into, but you can find it and you can thread it through. It won't take you too long. Once I get it through the circle, or the hole, then usually it goes pretty quickly. And if it doesn't work on one side, like this one didn't work on one side, so I flipped it to the other side. Maybe that side will work. It did. Great. And then I'm gonna put my last wood bead on. Now, you can have an adult or someone else fix your band so that it sits together nicely and they can tie it right on your hand. Once they tie it on your hand, any extra strings that you have, you can get rid of. You can just snip them off. And there you have it, the power band.
Today we learned that Jesus' power helps us to be good friends.
Trust Jesus.
What's one thing that makes someone a good friend? Shout out your answers. Tell somebody that you're with. Miss Emily, what's one thing that makes a good friend?
I know, someone who shares their toys, or maybe someone who listens.
That would be a good friend. Jesus is the best friend ever because he shares his power with us.
Today we met Lawrence the elk, who helps us remember that Jesus' power helps us be good friends.
Trust Jesus.
Now friends, get your antlers on. Lawrence the elk is a good leader to his herd. Are you a good friend to the people in your herd?
I bet you are. All month long, we've been celebrating Jesus' power and God's awesomeness by sharing our God sightings. God sightings are just evidence that we see all around us of God. You can see God at church, at home, at school, in your community, the pool, everywhere. We can trust Jesus that his Father, God, is at work all around us, everywhere we go. Join us in our next song, Everywhere We Go.
Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. There's a and I don't walk alone. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may, where I go with you. Hey. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my hope, come what may, where I go with you. Where I go with you. Where I go with you.
I just love all our Vacation Bible School music. Don't you, Miss Emily?
I do too.
When we first started this trip of Rocky Railway Vacation Bible School, I didn't know how VBS was going to go. But through our socially distanced parking lot vacation Bible schools on Tuesday nights and seeing everybody in the parking lot having fun, singing, dancing, eating, doing crafts, it gave me hope.
Even though it's been, really different. We've laughed, we've prayed, we've sang a lot. We ate and we traveled together. That is Jesus' love and power in action. Our connection grew. When we become friends with someone, we might say we've made a connection with that person.
Imagine this finger is you and this finger is a friend. Press your fingertips together and tell someone next to you a fun moment you've had with a friend. It's fun when we make conversations with our friends, but sometimes we do or say, or our friends do or say, something that hurts our friendship and tries to break it apart. For example, a friend might tell a lie or leave you out of a game. A friend may say mean or unkind words. Those things can pull your friendship apart. Think of something that happened with a friend that sort of pulled or broke your friendship. You don't have to say it out loud, but you can think about it. Now, I'm going to have Isabel, my daughter, come and join me. Remember, you can try this at home. Put your fingertips together. Now, Isabel is going to try to pull my fingertips apart. It's hard, right?
Yes.
Now, when you do this at home, have someone put their hands by your elbows. Go ahead, Isabel, and show them. And pull them apart. And when they do, I want you to say, Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Trust Jesus. Why do you think it was so hard or impossible to pull my fingers apart? No clue, right? It's a secret trick. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't pull my fingertips apart. When we're friends with Jesus, we can trust His love and power to be friends who stick together, even when it gets really tough. Jesus' power helps us to be good friends. Trust Jesus.
It's been a terrific train trek on the Rocky Railway. We've had so much fun exploring Jesus' power and love. I'm thankful for all of you. You've been my God sighting this month. Hearing your beautiful voices, watching you show kindness to each other, and listening to your laughter shows me that Jesus' power is all around us. When you leave, continue to look for Jesus' power. It will be there to power you through hard times, giving you hope and courage.
Don't forget, Miss Emily, and everyone out there, join us on Sunday morning for worship at 10 a.m. You'll meet your last Bible buddy and get your last Bible point. Hope to see you then.
Bye!